that this team might miss the playoffs?
I'm not concerned because they got the best player. You look at the bottom half of who's fighting to get in the playoffs, the best player is LeBron James. And I think that's where the separation comes at. When you think it's about Sacramento, they're 4 games over 500. They'll be interesting there at the end. Dallas seems like they're going to be competitive. In San Antonio, I think will still stand at 7th spot. And then I think the Clippers eventually are going to fall back. So I think LeBron James being the best player in that bottom half of that group, they're going to be the playoff team to get in.
Yeah, Twan, but that's cool. In a normal year, man, we was in the East. Last 8 years, we straight. Number 8, as long as we get in, Nick can say it. I'm not worried.
No.
I'm not worried about the guy. I'm not
Does
worried.
you?
But no, I think it's be great for them to get in. I think it'll give Magic and LeBron a chance to see what they got. Because they was about to ship out for everybody.
Not when they get out the broom in the first series against Golden State.
But
and they
still,
sweep
that's the
you.
best team. You want to be measured against the best team.
Even LeBron James, as much pride as he's got, and in those finals, man, LeBron would like to win a couple games. Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka is.
You don't think they get one in L.A.?
No, I don't. I think they'll get swept. Now, I think success this year is younger players keep developing and win a series or miss Golden State. So for me, that would be a success going into.
I don't know if they miss Golden State. At 28.
So Antoine's point,
they barely get in.
They get in,
and then they
got Golden State, and you get a sample size of what your young guys can do.
So listen, can they get into the playoffs even if they don't play great? The answer is yes. Sacramento's ahead of them. Here's Sacramento for their next 5. At Denver, at Golden State, at OKC, home for Milwaukee. So Sacramento about to hit a rough stretch. We know the Clippers just don't want to make the playoffs.
No, they beat Boston.
And probably upset about it.
Yeah,
listen, and here's why they don't want to make the playoffs. They want to keep their pick. They want to keep their pick, and it goes to Boston, actually, if the Clippers make the playoffs. So can the Lakers, if they just play okay, a couple games over 500, get to the 8 line? Yes. But I agree with Cris, and I said I'm going to focus on this. Can they get to the 7th seed? Can they climb all the way, which would mean not only jumping the Kings and the Clippers, but getting ahead of the Spurs or someone else falling off?
I disagree. I think if you make it, you get a real look at what you got. I don't care what seed you are. You ain't winning the first round, whether you're at the 7th spot or the 8th spot.
Oh, that's where I disagree with you. I think if they get to the 7th, I think they could beat Denver.
They can't beat Denver.
Okay, so that was.
They can't beat Denver. I don't think they can beat Denver. It's the same. This is different. Denver is much better than a lot of people think. They don't have the big names, but they play hard. They have a system. They have an underrated center who's probably one of the best players in this league. They will have trouble with them in a 7-game series. And you got to remember, they start on the road.
Of course.
Now, they can win a couple games against Denver now if you want them to win a couple games. But if you make the playoffs with this young group, because you're finna trade all of them. You was finna trade everybody. Somebody can play with LeBron. We know LeBron needs some veteran guys, some shooters on his team for him to be successful. But eventually you got to take a hard look at these guys. Ingram, Kuzma, to see who's going to be a part of this. Now, I'd rather look at them in the playoffs.
Now, something he's talking about Denver. Denver right now, 27 games. They're 23-4 at home. They got the best home record in the NBA. So, to give some credibility to what you're saying, no, Denver is a better matchup than Golden State. But if LeBron doesn't get hurt, they're looking at being in the 5 seed, the 6 seed. That's where they really should have been.
Oh, they win the series then.
Those 18 and 20 games though that LeBron missed, those are gone. And what they can't do, they can't afford another injury coming down the stretch, or they could miss the playoffs.
So if you look at what this means for LeBron, does LeBron's legacy in any way take a hit if they don't make the playoffs, get bounced in the first round, maybe make it past the first round? Does it matter, really, when we look at LeBron?
Matters to me they make the playoffs. Listen, I've said for however long that I've been in media that one of the knocks on Kobe is he missed the playoffs in his prime. And then the next 2 years got bounced in the first round in the playoffs in his prime. Now, he wasn't in year 16, but I can't simultaneously say LeBron's extended his prime as long as anybody, and then if they miss the playoffs, say this one don't count. So, yeah, it is important that they make the playoffs. I disagree with Antoine. I do not think Denver is equipped to deal with a playoff LeBron James. I'll tell you, if they get to the 7 line and Denver's there at the 2, I will pick the Lakers to win that series, assuming LeBron doesn't get injured in game 82. But people need to know the math here. They got 10 losses maximum they can play with. The team they're chasing, San Antonio. See, you remember that 3rd game of the year? LeBron hits the 3 to put it in overtime against San Antonio and then misses those 2 free throws. Patty Mills comes down, hits the game winner. That's the reason San Antonio won the season series. 3-1. So a same record as San Antonio gets the seed ahead of you. So they don't, everything matters, and they now, like, they play at Atlanta on Tuesday. It's going to sound weird. That's a must-win game if you're talking about the Lakers winning a playoff series.
And, Jenna, LeBron's legacy is on the line because we're going to start getting into a lot of firsts. First major injury, had him out 18 games. Not going to make All-NBA after how many in a row,
Probably not going to make first team All-NBA after more than 10 straight.
Right now, if he recharges his battery for All-Star break, he goes tonight this week, recharges his battery, you come back, second half of the season, he's healthy now. He feels 100%. He can go on a run.
Oh, I agree.
He can go on a run. That's why I believe they're going to make the playoffs. I believe he'll go on a run to make sure they get in the playoffs because he'll think about his legacy. He'll think about getting in. And then, obviously, the Lakers won 35 games last year. They got 28 wins now. You want to add a plus 10 to that. They probably get to 45 if he plays really, really
45
well.
45 would be 17-9 down the stretch. I think 16-10 is what they're going to have to do to have a shot at the 7th seed. By the way, I agree with you. I think LeBron's going to play great post-All-Star break. I think they are going to make the playoffs. Your question was, what happens if they don't? And by the way, if they lose Tuesday night at Atlanta, the last game leading into the All-Star break, you lose to the damn Hawks, and all of a sudden you're below 500 at the All-Star break, then them missing the playoffs becomes a real conversation, no matter the Kings' schedule, no matter the Clippers trying to tank and they have a...
Then Magic may be calling back Dale Dempsey taking that deal.
Well, yeah, it's too late. But you know who Magic might be calling is Luke Walton and seeing what's going on with Luke. But I don't think that's going to be happening.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.